Balake.
Where is Balake at?
My name's Blake.
Do you want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. Aaron.
Aaron is back, everyone, and it is time for war. Scientology's at war. Guys, this is the crazy... I did not have this on my bingo card for today, not even for the week or the month. This is one of the weirdest things I've heard in a long time. It's open. There are two different possible interpretations to the fact that the prosecutors in a case against the guy in Los Angeles, the case has nothing to do with even Scientology protesting. Scientology is not the one... pressing charges. Scientology's not, it's got nothing to do with Scientology. A guy who used to be a Scientology protester, Josiah, he was a Scientology protester. Then he was counter-protesting the Scientology protesters. Then he was protesting Scientology again. He's up on charges for some fights that he got into. And the prosecutors, this is the third time they've gone into court and tried to get a plea deal signed. And today, at the last minute, the third attempt to get this thing signed, I say Scientology slipped it in, but that's technically inaccurate. The prosecutors slipped in to the plea deal. No contact with Aaron Smith-Levin. This is someone who I have never been friends with. I mean, when I was out in LA last January, the day that I got arrested, when I showed up to the Scientology Test Center on Hollywood Boulevard, Josiah was there as well. He was live. And I was familiar with Josiah because I'd seen his streams. I'd even seen some streams where he'd gotten into fights, one in particular. So I knew who he was, but if I'm just being perfectly blunt with you guys, I already didn't like what he did. There's no attempt here to trash Josiah. I'm just being straight with you guys. The reason I've never publicly supported Josiah is because I saw he was a guy that was instigating violence, in my opinion. And I was like, I don't have anything to do with people who bring that kind of energy to a Scientology protest. But I didn't have any personal beef with the guy. Do you know what I mean? And he was perfectly pleasant to me when we met. I was perfectly pleasant to him. And we don't have any personal upset with each other, other than the fact that I don't like people who bring violent energy to protests. I think it asks for trouble. Okay, so Patrick Perry, the guy who assaulted me on the sidewalk that day in LA, Patrick Perry is one of the people that Josiah is being charged with either assaulting or threatening to assault. I haven't followed the cases at all. But Patrick Perry and one other guy are two people that Josiah is in trouble with the law for. And what I'm going to share with you are clips from Laura FM's, a video that Laura FM, and I've got a hard stop on this. I'm not going to be able to do this video for more than 15 minutes, but I've got all my timestamps set up because there's two different interpretations. One interpretation would be that Scientology really, 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 really doesn't want people to be able to talk to me. And the other interpretation would be Scientology is trying to protect me because I'm secretly working with Scientology and I'm a Scientology agent. And I'm going to set up Josiah by he's going to sign this plea deal. And then Scientology is going to send me in and I'm going to try to talk to Josiah to set him up to get him put away in jail for 4 years. And I got to be honest, I'm not sure which one of these theories Laura is coming down on. You guys are going to have to let me know. Okay, so the first timestamp here is at 10:52, and this one's going to run for 2.5 minutes. Here we go.
So if he admits to this, right, he takes the probation for 2 years, and at the end of the 2 years, if he doesn't violate and is successful, okay, part of that is admit aggravating factor, right? 2 years formal probation, credit for time served, which was 30 days. Restitution with Harvey. I didn't really get that. It's if 1 and 2. Anyways, okay. Stay away from both victims. Patrick Perry being one of the victims, quote, in this, and then Shane, the guy that he assaulted, or I guess technically assaulted, defending and protecting his friend. So I don't know what that would actually be called. Okay, so stay away from Patrick Perry and both victims. Next one is no. Listen to this, guys. Okay. no contact with Aaron Smith-Levin. That's just one of the new things that they added in here, okay?
Guys, why would it just say Aaron Smith-Levin? You'd think it would say no contact with William Good, no contact with Natalie Webster, no contact with Laura FM, Serge Del Mar, Scott Hochstetter. Like, like, I live in Tampa Bay. Josiah lives in Los Angeles. So no contact with Aaron Smith-Levin doesn't mean stay away from Aaron Smith-Levin. It means you can't talk to Aaron Smith-Levin. It's the weirdest thing. Guys, Scientology is not the one behind these charges, or at least they weren't supposed to be. But very clearly now, Scientology is obviously working behind the scenes with the prosecutor. This seems to actually possibly be evidence of collusion between the LAPD and Scientology. The LAPD, I guess the state, who's the official in the city? The city attorney, who's the one that actually decides whether to bring charges, whether to prosecute or not. I don't know. If anyone says it in the live chat, I'll try to bring it up. But collusion between the LAPD, the person who makes the prosecution decision, and Scientology to take a case that is not supposed to have to do anything to do with Scientology and turn it into something that serves Scientology's interests. It is so weird. Why just me? I think Scientology would be more interested in keeping Josiah away from Streets, since Streets is right there in LA. I don't know. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but that's probably where the conspiracy theories come from, you guys. Let's take a look at this.
And that's just one of the new things that they added in here, okay? And yet this is supposed to have nothing to do with Scientology. This case has nothing to do technically with Scientology whatsoever. Neither Patrick Perry false claims or the claims that this person he hit is not a Scientologist. He apparently was a mute in the school there. That's right by the thing. Yeah,
that's right. None of the victims in this case are Scientologists. I mean, unless they secretly are, but none of the victims. Oh, you know what? Just like Patrick Perry, I bet the other quote unquote victim in this case is someone that Scientology sent out to instigate Josiah, even if they knew it's because he was a hothead and he wasn't going to back down and he was going to defend someone. That is the only explanation, because there's no reason for the victims in this case to be cooperating with Scientology in any way, or the prosecutors to be cooperating with Scientology in any way.
What the fuck, right? Excuse me? Exactly. Okay, it gets worse, guys. So yes, no contact. So imagine if even Scientology were to try to set him up to have Aaron or somebody call Josiah. What little tactics? The moment Josiah had contact with Aaron, he would be going to jail for 4 years.
Laura, are you kidding me? I mean, could you choose your words any better here? What if Scientology set Josiah up to have Aaron call him? That is what she said, right? Let's listen to this.
In the school there. That's right by the thing. Yeah, what the fuck, right? Excuse me? Exactly. Okay, it gets worse, guys. So yes, no contact. So imagine if even Scientology were to try to set him up to have Aaron or somebody call Josiah. What little tactics? The moment Josiah had contact with Aaron, he would be going to jail for 4 years, guys.
So I'm working with Scientology now, guys. I'm working with Scientology to frame Josiah and send a guy who poses absolutely no threat to Scientology whatsoever away to jail for 4 years. Now, considering that DOA yesterday was accusing Streets LA of being a secret Scientology agent and a secret Scientology plant, I'm not shocked to hear that now I am a secret Scientology plant working with Scientology to potentially frame and take down protesters. Maybe I just have thin skin. Maybe that's not how you guys heard it, but I think I heard it, and I've listened to this thing 10 fucking times already. So anyhow, let's keep going, because there's more to listen to.
Guys, they're trying to say if Josiah violates any of these things, he goes to jail for 4 years. Okay. Yeah. What is Aaron's involvement? It's literally like Aaron was the one who was attacked by Patrick Perry. And they're saying that this has nothing to do with Scientology. So what the fuck is all this? No contact with Aaron Smith-Levin. It specifically says that as just one fucking random statement or one clause or whatever. Stay away from any Scientology buildings or events.
Okay. All right. That's the end of that clip. You know what? I wanted to play around with a live chat feature. We're going to do a poll for you live chatters. For you live chatters here. Apparently, I mean, unfortunately for the replay crew, you won't be able to actually see this poll, but I'm going to put it up. How do I do this? Yes. Start a poll. Okay. Question. Did Laura mean to imply that I'm a Scientology agent? Question mark. Yes and no. Start poll. Okay, I'm gonna try not to forget that poll is running by the time I end this video. We're gonna see. Maybe I'm just taking it a little too personally. Okay, we'll put it to a vote. All right, let's see. The next clip that I am going to share with you is 1717. Okay, and this goes for less than a minute. All right, here we go.
What? So the lawyer, me and Josiah was like, no. Even at the right when we saw the no contact with Aaron Smith-Levin, he was like, what? Like, what the fuck does that? What the fuck? Like, what does this really? No, like okay. So the lawyer went to the judge, told him there was things that are put on that were again added. So now this is now like the fucking third time, right, guys? You've gone to court to try to get Josiah to do a plea deal, and they keep changing the plea deal and adding things that are insane, which they've already added things that he was going to plead to, like not being around a Scientology building for 2 years or not talking about. He was going to fucking plead to this, and so they still added more. It's so insane.
There we go. Yes. So it was interesting. The whole thing is interesting because the lawyer in this case is the one that, when Danny first needed representation for a physical altercation that he'd been engaged in, 86 GOP had paid for a particular lawyer. And that lawyer is someone that was basically trying to get Danny to also take a plea deal. But because that lawyer was trying to get Danny to take a plea deal, DOA said that lawyer was secretly working for Scientology, and so was 86. And that's why 86 paid for that lawyer specifically. But then when Josiah needed a lawyer, $6,500 was raised. And then Scott, DOA, went and accidentally hired the exact same lawyer. And then I'm not kidding you guys. I'm not kidding you. Okay. So now that lawyer's been heavily criticized for not doing a good job for Josiah. But now even in Laura's stream this morning, she said, yeah, we basically told the lawyer we weren't happy with him. But once the lawyer, and then they said it seemed like the lawyer didn't really understand just what Scientology was capable of here. But that the lawyer himself was so outraged at seeing Scientology, or honestly, the prosecutors, obviously working with Scientology behind the scenes, trying to slide in things at the last minute into this plea deal that is supposed to have nothing to do with Scientology, that lawyer finally was like, no, we're gonna do something about this. So it's interesting to see the story changing about whether this lawyer is a good guy or a bad guy. Okay, let me check the poll. Okay, let's end the poll. Okay, good. 66% of you said no. Laura was not implying that I was a Scientology agent, and apparently Laura, in another video today, said she does not think I have anything to do with this. Well, thank God. Thank God I've been marked safe from being on the bad actors list for today. I'm sure I'm still on the bad actors list. I'm just not on the bad actor Scientology agent list. But yes, DOA did do a 1-hour video yesterday attacking Streets LA for secretly working with Scientology to take down the protester movement. Believe it or not, I'm not kidding you guys. Eventually, someone's going to have to say enough of putting up with this ridiculous bullshit. But for today, we're talking about Josiah. And it's interesting. One of the things that Laura said is, as of right now, there's another hearing scheduled about 12 days from now, I think February 5th. And the lawyer believes he can get this whole thing thrown out. And if he can't, then it looks like they'll need another $10,000 for Josiah's representation. I don't know. Fingers crossed, guys. Let's hope the lawyer is able to get this thing thrown out. I mean, this is humiliating for the prosecutors in Scientology for something like no contact with Aaron Smith-Levin. How does a prosecutor even pretend to defend to the judge why something like that is in a prosecution, a plea deal for an assault case that has absolutely nothing to do with Scientology. It's crazy, you guys. It's absolutely crazy. Okay, we got some starred comments, and then I got to get out of here real quick. Lori Plays says, because he was always slipping into your DMs. I don't know what you're talking about. Mischief Managed. Why am I here? Did you buy me? Oh my God. Jojo, they haven't taken the deal and they are raising 10,000 to take it back to court. Jojo, they might be raising 10,000, but Laura was pretty clear that they do not know yet that Josiah needs any extra money. If this thing gets thrown out in 2 weeks, he does not need any extra money. So I would encourage people to wait to see if money is needed before donating money. But what do I know, guys? I grew up in a cult. Common sense means nothing to me. Just a Northern girl, sweet baby LRH. Why is this? What is even happening with this insanity? Indeed, guys, I'm so late. I actually take my kids to a school thing, so I actually have to dip. I can't finish. I'm sorry, I can't finish reading all the comments. Here's one. Constance June, to set a precedent. They're doing this to set a precedent, and then any former Scientologist or protester to get a restraining order on, they can add Aaron to keep people from talking to Aaron. It's just funny that they would think me and Josiah would talk. We've never had anything to do with each other. We're not friends. It's such a weird thing to do. Anyhow, guys, that's it. I got a dip. More to come later today. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not,